I'll tell you what I love, a three-way handshake. That was a thing of beauty there, Stephen. That was John Keish, if I've ever seen it. That was a lovely effort. But we have the Napa Formula Fords out. The track has been cleared by Motorsport New Zealand to be safe, and we're going to get out there and race, and that's what we're here for, isn't it, Ronan?
Yeah, absolutely, and as we can see, the car's coming up to grid up for the start of this one. So it's looking like, yeah, we're gonna get a race start here, and hopefully it's a clean one.
Yeah, we heard it come over on race radio and let all the drivers know of the little issue, so it's fantastic. Napa Auto Parts, great supporters of this class. Napa do such a good job in supporting. They've come into this country and really supported a lot of drivers and cars. They're really into the car scene, which is awesome. Napa Auto Parts, we see Sebastian Manson lined up. That front two crept on the first one, so let's see what happens on this one. So the lights are going to come up. We're waiting here for the grid. As our great team here from the Canterbury Car Club get the race underway. 5 lights on. And they're off and racing. On the inside, looks like Manson gets a decent start. Good battles down to turn 1. Knowles is there too. As it's battle side by side into one. They're going to want to try and get in front of Manson right now if they can, because he had a clean set of heels once he got clear in that first race. Critical to try and at least stay in the tow as they work through these first few corners as Manson makes the lead.
And Caleb Byers there maintaining third position off the line. Dylan Pitch there in a battle with Mason Potter and Dylan Grant there for fourth place. So it's heating up at the front. Yeah,
it is very much heating up at the front as they work their way down to the TGR hairpin and then up to the Nexon curves as they battle through side by side out of that corner. It's hard as it tightens. 2 good drivers there giving space. That's lovely to see in racing as they work their way up, still side by side through these corners as they try and clear. Manson's got a little gap already though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's obviously a great start from everyone there, Mark. It's been clean, doesn't look like anyone's had any issues, so good clean start to the race. Manson's in the lead and he seems to be pulling away a little bit.
He definitely does. Knowles has got to stay close enough when they get onto this front straight to stay in the draft, and that will pick him up enough. But I think Manson's going to be getting to that point of breaking it. As he said to me between the races, 0.5 of a second's where it's at. So he wants to get out past that.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to relax a little bit because it didn't look like there was anyone who made any mistakes off the line there or was, any infractions. So as he takes off down the front straight to complete the first lap.
Yeah, he does, and he's moved it, trying to stay out of that tow. This class is so good at close battling. A little thing like a tow, they don't have the most aerodynamics, so the tow's not like some cars, but it's effective in these, and we've seen the production line of talent that comes through this great class that they run as they work out of the creme straight and up to the pothole.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of a breakaway there, Mark, between the top 5. So Manson, Knowles, Byers, Potter and Petch have sort of started to pull away from the rest of the
Petch
field.
will be happy. He got to start in 5th spot after the last race where he had to start from the back. He got to use a race time from that to push him up the grid, and he'll be happy to start with this group and be in the battle. He was telling me he was struggling though in their race with a little bit of overheating. The Stealth car doesn't quite have the ventilation of these cars with side pods, so he was struggling a little bit with ventilation there, and once he got behind he lost a little bit of engine power, so he's going to be occasionally ducking out for air to try and keep that engine nice and fresh. Dylan Grant there doing a good job.
Yeah, and absolutely going back to the overheating there with the Stealth. The Stealth's actually a very slippery, narrow, small little car, so it's actually very hard to get a tow off. I remember that from when I was racing. They're always a really hard car to sit behind, but obviously then with those shorter, smaller side pods, it makes it hard for them to follow.
That's right. I believe that Pitch car is the Liam Skeets championship winning car. So Skeets is another one of the drivers to move on from this, and we're seeing success in CT Frock with him second overall in points and second on the grid today so far. So he's showing the worth of this class as they move their way down. Dylan Grant doing a great job. Seb Manson, he's been caught up here though, and we're getting some moves put him on by Knowles. Knowles has come on strong here. That's a good run by Knowles to get back onto the back of Manson. Don't know if it was a little issue or something to get him close, but going well there. Manson's now going to have to defend it. Sure is. He's gone down to the inside to make sure it's a long way down. But that's a poor braking zone. Yep, poor break. He broke on his normal spot, but he was on the inside on the dirty line. And you can't do that, can you, Ronan? You need to bring back the braking marker a little bit.
Yeah, and the pressure there obviously got to Seb Manson a little bit. He's made a little bit of a mistake running down the inside there, and that's managed to let Blake Knowles through into the lead. So now, after looking really threatening for those first couple of laps, we're going to see what Blake Knowles has got in the tank.
Yeah, Knowles drove well, current championship leader. After the mistake from Manson, dropped him back after that penalty. But Knowles is doing a good job at the front here. Manson in second.
Yeah, Manson actually looked really hot out the box. So maybe, hey, you know, we don't know what everyone's done tyre pressure-wise, but because even their Byers is actually catching up to the back of Manson. So we'll see. Maybe he's just waiting for the car to come up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see what...
Oh. As we'll head to Stephen in the pits.
Just an update on that curbing on turn 8 that held up this race 2 of the Napa Auto Parts Formula Fords. The concern was that the tarmac was going to chunk up. It obviously caused greater concern for the other classes. They are satisfied that it's flat enough and safe enough to continue racing for the rest of the day, but we have been told by the clerk at the Gorsa Motorsport New Zealand they will look at that at the end of racing today. So as far as we are concerned right now, good to go on the curb on the exit of turn 8.
Well, that's great news, isn't it? We can get back to racing. As we see on the screen, Manson looks to the inside. Last time he struggled with a bit of braking performance on that inside line, and again's lost a little bit of time looking for that pass. As we see Pitch trying to look all over the back there in their group in 5th place there. And then we've got the next group catching now. Dylan Grant's dropped back 1 spot. That's a surprise. He's been so strong in the North Island Championship in that Napa Auto Parts car.
Yeah, beautiful livery on that number 20 car there, the Napa Auto Parts, representing the series sponsor really well out there, Dylan Grant. It's looking like that maybe Manson just made a mistake on that last lap because he's starting to threaten Blake Knowles a fair bit again there, and obviously Caleb Byers just waiting there to pounce if either of the front two make a mistake.
Grant's looking all over the back there, Will Neal.
Dylan Pitch is actually looking really good there, and I think just before the camera shot cut there, we were looking for a move down into the last corner. So
Mason Potter, a young Aucklander as well, who's done his trade in the North Island Championship and now moving to this national championship stage and really put together a lot of testing in the off-season to get his performance up. His dad actually fell off a ladder, and the whole North Island Championship helped run his car so he could keep on going because Dad couldn't make it to the round. As round the outside goes Manson, can he make this stick as he gets the drive on? No, he's been not run wide, but he's just made a smart move to pull out there and not make sure that they didn't make wheel-to-wheel contact as they work up here to pothole. Manson's got good drive here, manages to get the nose down nicely. That's going to give him drive up here.
And great job from Knowles there. He just stopped it at the apex, turned the car and shot off the corner. So he managed to keep Manson at bay for at least another lap through turn 1. And yeah, as we can see, the front two have sort of started to stretch their legs a little bit, and they've pulled away from the rest of them. As we can see, Mason Potter and
Pitch side by side.
Pitch going too wide down into turn 5 there.
So they worked through. Looks like Potter kept that position there because it wouldn't be good to start on the outside there. That would be a hard place to be. So Pitch has decided to slip in, but he's all over the back of Potter here. That is a superb battle there for 4th place as he looks to the inside there. Just moving, it looks more in Mason Potter's mirrors, I'd say there. Would you say that's more of a mirror move than anything?
Yeah, 100%. And Pitch is doing a really good job there. He's just placing the car, trying to get in Mason's attention, and he's obviously going to be looking for the draft down the front straight here. So we'll see what that Stealth's got in the tank.
He just squares up the line there a little bit too much, which meant he didn't get quite the drive. Now he's in the tow though, so let's see what the horsepower of that car is. It too hot right now? Dives to the inside. That's where he wants to be as they come up into a tight braking area, but squeeze there. As change in the lead.
And Manson's taken the lead back off Knowles, so great move down there at turn 1. Let's see what he's got.
Manson battles up to pothole. What will Knowles be able to do? He's made the move past him once. Can he make it twice? Maybe he's sitting there. Sometimes the pit driver likes to be second place in a Formula Ford race up to a line.
Yeah, and he managed to get off pothole really well there. He didn't have to run defensive down towards the hairpin, so he's obviously confident the speed's starting to come back into that Spectrum.
Spectrum's a Australian developed car, isn't it? So great to see that these Spectrum cars, which are started as Van Diemen, then they develop from there. They do a great thing.
Yeah, and great to see the Australian Spectrum built and developed by Michael Borland from Borland Racing Developments in Australia. There's a few of them out there, beautifully made cars, and yeah, really cool to see a manufacturer from this part of the world represented on the grid.
We have Van Diemen's, we have Mygales from France. There's a lot of different manufacturers that make these cars. They've been such a worldwide standard car for developing drivers internationally. Drivers like Senna internationally and others came through this class. So over 50 years of history in New Zealand, as we see Petch has made the move, Stick finally past Potter, but Potter's now in the tow. But look at the man there, Will Neal. He's caught up that group quite well. As they start this last lap, there is Manson, defensive. Knowles makes the move round the outside. Let's see this. This is for the race here. If he can get it stopped, Manson's going to run him right wide here. Gets it down. Puts him in the place he wants to be. He's in the place of a pothole. Comes back out. Let's see him make his way through pothole.
And Knowles is going to have to get a little bit creative here because Manson's obviously, he's moved it across to the inside. Making sure that he's not giving away any opportunity for Knowles to be able to jump up the inside. And as we can see there, Caleb Byers is sitting there in third place, ready to capitalise of these two.
So from here, where's the best passing spot? Where does he need to get this set up for? Or is it just a mistake from Manson because we've been through the best passing areas?
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. He's just going to have to stay in his mirrors, try and move around a bit, try and distract him, because really from here it's going to be a hard slog to try and make him move. And Manson definitely doesn't seem like the type of driver that makes too many mistakes.
The young St. Kennigan's driver doing such a good job trying to get back into that national championship lead. This is first and third, so first in the championship is currently second in this race, and he is all over the back of Manson. He's just got the points lead after the mistake from Manson in race one, and he's going to want to get it back as they work their way up. And we're three battling three here as we work our way into the last corner. Manson's sort of backed him up into the battle with Byers, and Byers is going to get the drive, but will Manson be able to hold on to the line? Pops out. No, enough drive there from Manson for the race win. His fist is in the air celebrating. He is happy with that race win after the disappointment of the first race. Great race there from Knowles. I thought that as soon as we saw Manson make the lead, but Knowles did a fantastic job there, didn't he?
Yeah, great job there between those three. Class drive from all three of them. And obviously there, Caleb Byers was ready to go. If there was another lap, I think we would have seen a pretty hard duel down to turn one. And yeah, great finish to for the podium.
We saw
race.
Just battles among battles, three cars so close, and there's been a problem on the last lap there with Dylan Petch. He's dropped back a little bit behind Will Neal and Mason Potter there, so I'm not too sure what happened on that last lap, because we saw Neal was actually at the back of the group and he's ended at the front of it.
Yeah, well, it looked like they actually, just in the background there, it looked like they went three wide across the line, so and there was a gaggle of about 5 cars, so obviously Will Neal has benefited from that. He's ended up 4th. Mason Potter a solid top 5, and unfortunately for Dylan Petch, he's dropped from 4th to 6th.
And then Dylan Grant in the Napa Auto Parts car there in 7th. So it was a fantastic race. Good battling from these young guys, but clean racing, good racing, and that's what encourages people to come and do this class. You go for a Motorsport New Zealand Championship, which is fantastic, and got to thank all the volunteers for getting that race underway. I was a little bit worried when I saw that hole, but the Motorsport New Zealand volunteers did their job to get the track back in order and get racing underway, but I know they're going to be checking that regularly to make it. But Manson wins from Knowles, Byers, Neal, Potter, Petch, Grant, Isaac Fletcher, then Blinko, Jake Bryant there in 10th.
And what a great finish to that race, Mark. You know, less than a 10th covering the top 2 cars, less than 3/10 covering the top 3 cars. So as you can see, they're all on a pretty even playing field there, and also as you sort of suspect, the race winner Sebastian Manson taking out the fastest lap of the race with 1:30.2.
Now it's great battles there in a great race, and I really enjoyed it. Here we go to the highlights. Off the start, it was an even start there across. Didn't see like any jumps at all, and no penalties came through. We had Manson lead the field off, and then he made that slight mistake down into the TGR hairpin. Couple of passes further back as Grant was struggling with his car early in the race.
Nice battle here, 2 wide between Mason Potter and Dylan.
And that was a whole race battle. That was a fantastic battle, and unfortunately for Petch, Potter got it at the end with a good battle there as Manson made the move back and made it stick, and the young 16-year-old St. Kennigan's driver takes the win. He'll be happy. He needs to get back to school on Monday, but he'll be happy with that.
And that really was a photo finish. You know, 3 cars separated by less than 0.3 of a second. It really shows, you know, when you've got everything together and got a good car under you, you know, the racing's close in this class, as close as it gets.
Let's see these young drivers down on the podium with Stephen.
Well, we've got the race winner, Sebastian Manson. We've already had chat already. You had to hold him off, old Blake. He was all over you.
Yeah, struggled a little bit there. I think cooked the tyres a little bit too much, trying to warm them up for the start. Yeah, struggled a little bit that race, but it was nice to get the victory in the end.
Where did you struggle, buddy?
Just struggled with a bit of the tyres just coming off too fast. So yeah, that upsets the balance of the car a lot.
Eager beaver, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well done, congratulations, Sebastian. Blake Knowles, who will probably just still hold on to the championship lead. Just you were all over him. Was that really the plan when you said, "Oh, I'll sit in behind him"?
I wasn't too sure really, but yeah, it was good. It was pretty close. Would have been nice to get the win, but good points at the end of the day.
Well, it was well raced, mate. It makes for good racing, so it was all on for tomorrow.
Yeah, should be. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, buddy.
Cheers, thank you.
And Cameron Freeman came into P1 in Class 2, which are these older cars. But mate, I'll tell you what, you look at your car, don't look that old, buddy. How old is it?
It's 1992, so...
Mate, she's in good nick for a 1992 Formula Ford. How much fun is it out there?
Pretty fun, yeah. Hard work, but yeah.
How long have you been racing?
Since I was a young kid in karting, but yeah, so Formula Ford has probably been like 7 or 8 years now.
What's it like having done all this racing and seeing these young kids now flying out of the front?
Yeah, too hard for me to keep up with.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. P1 in your class.
Cool, thank you.
It's Cameron Freeman, P1 in Class 2 in the Napa Auto Parts Formula Fords. And now it's time for New Zealand versus Australia. The Trans-Tasman Ding Dong and the TA2s.